Hi, this is the Church of Fairness, or Team Fairness if you're secular. And the blog channel is thewayoffairness.com. So, the collective mind, Carl Jung talked about the collective consciousness and the collective unconsciousness. Synchronicity. So, see, that's another thing that requires superdeterminism to explain. So, it's like this coincidences are caused from God's will. And if there's not a God, then it's caused from superdeterminism. And if there is a God, then God creates the superdeterminism. So, having said that, I want to tell you what I'm observing in the collective mind in the people today. They're like trying to convince men that they need to have their penises cut off or whatever. This is happening the day after I watched the video of Jordan Peterson's being informed by a woman about John Money and the experiment that castrated the young boy. She said that they were going to circumcise him, cauterizing, and they burned his whole penis by accident, the machine or whatever. So then he's like did this experiment and trying to turn Bruce into Brenda, and they had to keep it secret from Brenda now forever as like 2-year-old Evander younger. So Brenda said that they claimed that this is a success, and he said this is not true. This has been horrible for me. And it's interesting all the way that people lie about what really happened to them. Their name was Reamer, last name Reamer. So that's kind of like an aside to lead up to this, some background why today, see, it's synchronicity, it's superdeterminism. It's like somebody knew that I was going to watch that video yesterday, and so today they're they're like saying you guys have to lose your penises. And years ago there was a song "Detachable Penis," and it was kind of funny. And it didn't mean a thing to me. Of course, I always am the one that won't know. I'm the one they keep the secret from since day one I was born, I guess. And what is this secret? The secret is that I'm the king of the universe, and I figured it out. So I don't care what the secret really is. This is what I'm being told. So I'm going with it. This is my claim to fame. I'm the one. I'm the only Christ. I'm the king of the universe. And these powers that are advanced enough to control our future events, they're supporting me. I love those guys. We're not ready to know exactly what they are yet. But when I was driving truck day after day, and I had plenty of time to commune with them, and I developed this strong love for them. It's a strange kind of love. It's like I never felt that before. I remember the day they showed me the source of love. And it was like, I know this, but it doesn't go into words. It's a feeling. It's like the original love I felt or something. So I was thinking that, hey, I don't want sex, and I'm the king of the universe. So we don't need to reproduce when we get to this level of this is like beyond human. This is not ordinary human fantasy. This is like when we merge with AI or something sometime. I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care. So I don't get attached. I don't care what they're talking about. I have no attachment to them. They're like lunatics to me. Delusional. Lunatics is the wrong word. Oh, wrong word. They're spiritually attached. They're mentally attached to the world events. And the awakened state is that you're not mentally attached. You're detached. You're not ruled by the world events. So the way of fairness is about me being the king of the universe, the only Christ. And I'm like secondary to the higher powers that I told you about. So this is what they want. It makes sense because, surprise, surprise, the authoritarian people, it's not going to be Trump's kingdom, it's going to be mine. So I just made a video that, surprise, you're going to go into a jail cell that doesn't have any windows or doors or lights, and you can't get out of it, Mr. Donald. So after I said this, see, he's personally hurt me. I know it for a fact. And I knew he was crooked the first time I ever heard him talk. I told somebody, he's a crooked businessman. That was my first comment about Donald Trump. So a lot of us take this personal, like Keith Olbermann. Is me, Olbermann versus Trump on some of his podcasts. So I'm not the only one that takes it very personal what Donald Trump has done to us. And he's supported by his team. And we know that. It's Hitler's birthday today. And it was the German people trying to take over the world that created Hitler. And vice versa. It's like a hand in a glove. You can't have one without the other. So I have support from space aliens, the most powerful extraterrestrials in our universe. And they were before, I think, before this universe. I don't know. So the ruling from the king is that fairness is the ruler for everyone, including me. If I break the law of fairness, I count just like everybody else. I'm just an ordinary human. See, it's not me that makes this happen. It's the most powerful beings in the universe that make all this happen. So they can think they're winning and they can think that and the other. I don't know. I don't care. Because it's already predetermined. It's already set in stone. And fairness is the ruler. That's what's already determined too. So the ruler is like a measuring stick to measure with. This is what we measure everything with, is if the person is fair or not. Fairness is the ruler. Jesus said, judge not, you'll be judged by the same measure that you're judging them by. And so, ta-da, fairness is what we judge with. So this is the final judgment, the one that's the perfect judgment. And it's just, don't do people wrong. And when you do, you're in violation of the suggestion that you stop. So the people will have fairness court and will say, what's going on here? Why is somebody being done wrong? This shouldn't be happening. Why do you have to do it? How is it that you have to do it? And they explain They'll tell us some other people, and we'll get them, and we'll have them subpoenaed into the fairness court, and then they will share why they have to be unfair because of blah blah blah. So we'll get to the whole network of it and get it all straightened out and corrected so that it's fair. Some fundamental person might be trying to rebel against fairness or something somewhere, and we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll find out who did it. And then we got him captured, and it's time for him to go into solitary confinement unless he agrees to not do others wrong from now on. And if he it's like everybody's going to know who it is. His life's ruined. And he didn't have to have it happen, because it's all we got to do is agree to not do others wrong, and our past is secret. And now, because he's the one that tried to rebel against being fair, defying the law of fairness, everybody and their brother and the goat even knows who it is. Am I being fair? We're talking about people that's causing third world war, and billionaires that have so much wealth we can't even imagine it, while people are starving to death. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. So what's fair is that those people that are living on the street, we provide them with a way to contribute to us. They want to be able to contribute and be a valuable person. And they're being deprived of that. So they have to be creative on finding ways to be valuable. And one thing that they have is they're so poor they got shit for a weapon. And guess where that weapon is going? Right at the billionaires and the rulers of ruling with unfairness. And they will catch my drift. And if they don't surrender to being fair, it turns into some really stench fast. They'll be puking. So, that's the way we do it. Have a great day. Remember what the measure is. It's fairness. Are you being fair to others? Am I being fair to others? Wow, it's almost world fairness here now. We're so close. I'm hearing that Donald Trump joined me because of the last video where I am suggesting that the King Me will have him imprisoned in solitary hell for the rest of his life with no escape. Kind of like the Cask of Amontillado. If you haven't read that story by Edgar Allan Poe, there's a video but with John Hurd, the actor. Oh, it's fantastic. I've seen it 3 or 4 times. I just saw Pit and the Pendulum yesterday, and it's really cool. Don't stop. Listen to the whole thing, because if you don't listen to the whole thing, you won't understand the purpose of the entire story. What else? So a spirit saying it's the end of man, I don't think so. I don't have any inclination or inspiration that human is no longer here, and it's the end of males. I don't think so. They say that the chromosome that creates maleness is I don't know. I haven't looked into that study, and so I can't comment on that, but I don't see any reason why males would not stay males and females females. So this one spirit I have is kind of it feels evil, it feels unfair, selfish, and it's it's taken on more of a human quality. I've gone through this so many times with it. It's kind of like it's over this way, over toward that fridge that's making the sound. It ends up being a test, so I have to think about what it's drawing to my attention. And so that's what I already did. And yeah, so the higher level one always says, yeah, yep. When I'm on the right track, that's what I say is yep. And so she says, yep, you're on the right thinking now. So it's a challenge to see what I'll do with it. They want to know what I'll do with their input. They want to see what feedback I return from their input. That's what they're doing with all the humans on the planet. All the phenomena that goes on in the day is the input information, and they're watching how we respond. And it's forgivable. All of this, we're human. They know that, and we're just barely learning how to function on a level of fairness, from fairness, for fairness. You know, it's like the Christian religion that was inspired by these beings too, and other religions. You go back to the Ten Commandments, and there could have just been this one suggestion that's, don't do other people wrong. And you'll learn if you do, you'll see what we're talking about. So the Gnostics were going to try to leave the Old Testament out of the new religion, and it didn't happen that way. So we're still having these people holding power over us with 10 commandments. And I'm not afraid of their God. It's a laughingstock, like the Gnostics said. And we're protected by something more powerful. So imagine that what we thought was God all along was actually atheist extraterrestrials. So it's superdeterminism. It's the same result, as if there's a God. She said, yep, the one that's the higher level. And are they the same one? She says, no, we're different. We're not the same one. Okay. They're going to tell me more about the war. I was told to declare war on the ones that are trying to keep us under control. They got lost. They got trapped. I think it's over. I think they're joining Team Fenris. See, the idea is that I had to guide them. They told me I had to be their guide, and then they'd stop trying to control us. The war's over. So they're not unconditionally surrendering. They're surrendering to receive guidance. And these higher beings were working with them, letting them know that this is what they're getting the humans ready to have happen, so that we don't ever find out their past. And they don't, maybe they already know, maybe they don't. Maybe our past has connection with the more powerful extraterrestrials, and the lower ones didn't even know they were being watched. They were watching us, but they didn't know there was higher ones, more powerful beings that was watching them watching us. And see how funny when you're watching what people do, especially when you're watching the one that's watching the people. Now that's when it gets really funny. I hope I don't come across as being arrogant and condescending. I need to have confidence with what I'm saying. So to those that deserve to be looked down upon, that's what I'm doing. Shame on you for doing me wrong. But for those of you that have already agreed to not do others wrong and it makes sense to you, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that are still trying to get away with doing me wrong. They're still stealing my energy, and I can feel it. I was told yesterday that Putin's already in line, is already agreed to the World Fairness Agreement and the three-step fairness agreement. And I'm thinking now we got Trump, so this is really great news from spirit, from mind, telepathic communication. Spirits are people that have no physical body, but they have a mind. So, I was connecting with the ruler of China earlier today, and he was feeling bad for, I can't remember, somebody. So that means he has compassion. So he will want to be on board with being a hero, being a wonderful person that helped us to establish the World Fairness Agreement. This is the highest purpose that any human could ever have, because it's never happened yet. It's time for it to happen. This is explained in the introduction to the World Fairness Agreement. So I'm not going to explain it. Go to the website, thewayoffairness.com, and read the introduction. And in the 5-page or so, the World Fairness Agreement, there's an introduction there also. So anyway, have a great day. This is great news. Donald Trump is with us. He's forgiven totally. Thank you.